Okay, hopefully it's not too bright and the shadows are too dark, hopefully. I'm going to remove the old distributor on the 350. If you can see on the hood of the Matrix, I have a new one. Here's a little, I don't know, I guess it would be considered a little controversial. Every video that I've seen of people installing new distributors into their small block, they always retime the engine first, you know, get the top dead center and all that good stuff on the compression stroke before they install the new distributor. And I always thought that was odd, because I've done that on the D21 several times, and by that I mean removing the distributor at different times, and reinstalled it just the way it was, you know, in the exact same position as when I removed it, and the trucks ran fine, and that was without retiming it because it was already timed. So I found it odd that the same thing couldn't be done with this. And I saw a video the other day of a guy doing just that. He installed a new distributor on his 350 without first, you know, getting the without retiming the engine and getting the top dead center. So in this case, and for this engine, I'm gonna assume that it's timed. If it's not, I'll just retime it, you know, later on. But for now, I'm gonna install that new distributor on here and assume that it's timed. But again, if it's not, I'll retime it. Again, I'm doing that because this thing is in horrible shape, and I just as soon have a new one on there. And chances are I'll likely have to do the same with the carburetor. I mean, I have no idea what shape it's in, but we'll see. But anyway, for now I'm gonna remove this sucker. I already unbolted this bracket. Hopefully you can see this specific bracket slides. Hopefully you can see that. There's so many shadows right now. And I just dropped it. But it sits right there, and that, you can see where it sits, and you can still see, you should be able to at least, hopefully, where the it keeps sliding off because of the angle we're at, but you get the idea of where it goes, and it keeps the distributor in place. And then you would bolt this onto the bracket and through that threaded hole. Let's see. Through this threaded hole. And it keeps the distributor in place. And you want to make, again, you want to make note, to take photos of the position of everything. Or even use markings. I mean, I took photos. I also I had to use this tape because I have the pens that I was using would not actually write. The ink would not bleed onto the distributor cap or even the block or the intake. So I used masking tape and did that. And wrote on the masking tape. I'm sure I have markers somewhere, I just don't know where. But this mark, I just used it as a guide and lined it up with this outlet, and it's literally in line with this outlet, and that's just for this for the cap. And this mark, I have lined it up with this portion of the distributor. I mean, you can see how bad of a shape it's in, the rust and pieces missing. But anyway, that is lined up with this line. And there's two screws that hold all this down, or the cap to the distributor. So we just pull this sucker out. And if you've never done this before, just like on the D21, at the bottom of the shaft, if you see that I don't know what you would call that. It's not a groove, but it's like at the center. That aligns with the oil pump. I'm gonna take a photo of that in there. That way you guys can see it, hopefully. But this mates with the oil pump at the opposite end. And they both run each other, you know, kind of timed, all that good stuff. Let me set this aside. Okay, so here we have the new distributor with the cap off. And again, we're assuming that the engine is already timed. And get that connection out of the way. Here we go. Okay, so distributor's on, wires are on, they're all buttoned up and in order. So if we're facing the small block, you know, head on, the numbers are, you know, there's 4 cylinders on each side, so it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7, and 8. And then the numbers for on the cap. I did mark them here for my own, so that I don't forget, because I will. So this is 1. This is 8. 4, 3, 6, 5, 7, and back to 1. And obviously the center one is for the ignition coil. So my hope is soon is to get the little bit of wiring that I'm going to need. I already got a push or like a makeshift button that I can use for as an ignition button, because I want to start this, you know, as it sits there. Make sure everything's working good, and then I'll know for sure if the timing was even set. If not, then I'll have to do the timing, which isn't that bad, because it's, you know, pretty much the same process as the D21. You want to get to top dead center, and on the number 1 cylinder and all that good stuff. I mean, you guys know. It's not too difficult. But my hope is that she is already timed, but I don't know for sure. I mean, because I haven't started her, but once I do, I'll know for sure. And if she isn't, then again, I'll time her. And I'll also, at that point, be able to see what kind of shape this carburetor's in. Plus, I want to get familiar with all this and see what I can, how many of these lines I can cap and what I need and all that good stuff. Since it's carbureted, I'm going to treat it the same way I did the D21 once I installed the Weber carb. And hopefully we won't have to deal with any of these sensors, but we'll see. We'll see. If anything, I'll get a carb that doesn't require any of that. But we'll see. I'll leave that for another day. Sorry I couldn't record much more on this either way. I wanted to, but man, it was so freaking hot, and having my phone out in the heat, not a good idea. But anyway, just wanted to share that little bit with you. She is officially coming along. And now that I have the starter on there, I can start working on the this portion of the bell housing. Get all the clearances and all that. I got this tight foam, Loctite tight foam. You see a lot of people on YouTube use this for they're making body parts, bumpers, fenders, flares, that sort of thing. I'm gonna use it to get sorry, I keep doing that. But I'm gonna use it to get these the proper dimensions for that bell housing, for this aspect of it. What I'm gonna do is either go to an art craft store or that section, like at a Walmart or something, and get some cardboard type paper that has some good, decent, enough flexibility but strength that'll be able to handle this, that I can bend, get that curve, and get these curves as well, and spray this in there. Let it take its shape and shave off any extra stuff, and get these dimensions, get this thing done. But yeah, anyway, just wanted to share that little bit, and I'll see you.